It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission really is to inspire. Our mission is to empower. And our mission is to make sure you, the listener, you, the entrepreneur, you, the hardworking mom or the hardworking dad or the person that's a kind human being, you have all the resources that you need that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Dr. Johnson, who's in the building. I'm in Washington, D.C. At least she's right up the street, by the way. How you doing, Dr. Johnson?
Johnson Owens, by the way.
Johnson Owens. Sorry, Dr. Johnson Owens. That's very important.
Owens. So pretty much it's Owens.
I know, but I want to say Dr. Do you want me to say Dr. Johnson Owens or Dr. Owens? Which one you want?
Just plain old Owens.
Dr. Owens is in the building, by the way. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm curious, we'll address the elephant in the room. I mean, folks are looking at the title below and they're going to see reclaim your health and wellness. And then they're going to read the bio and say, oh my gosh, oh no, they're going to beat me up, Shay. I have no idea. But the question that's got to be on everyone's mind, which is, why do we still struggle today with diet, exercise, our health, and making sure we're healthy? I mean, we have Instagram these days. We've got TikTok telling us what to do. We got ChatGPT that every morning can send us a message saying, don't forget to eat the right foods, by the way. We have the online. I know you don't like WebMD. We got all this stuff out there, and yet there's still a huge problem, at least here in the United States. So my question to you, on your experience, why do we still struggle with taking care of ourselves?
I think because we've gotten so busy. Everyone has gotten so much busier doing a lot, but not really necessarily accomplishing a lot of things. So it's just that we still have 24 hours in a day, but most people don't utilize that 24 hours. And I think social media and easy access to fast foods has really taken over our lives. So really, that's pretty much why folks aren't, choosing wisely. It takes time to cook. It takes time to plan going to the gym and picking up the kids to and from school. And, an 8-hour workday sometimes turn into a 10-hour workday for most folks. And, maybe it's commuting back and forth, and then the easy access to fast foods, having fast foods on every block. So that's pretty much why people are, choosing those things as opposed to choosing wisely.
Now, what do you say to the person that's just leaning in like, Shay, she has my attention right now. Like, okay, Shay, I'm busy. Okay, so before she gets into all the other cool stuff, Shay, what's her view of the world on just being able to manage multiple priorities? Because she just mentioned me, Shay. Like, I'm a guy and I have to take care of the family, or I'm a woman, I've got to take care of the family. But does she understand I have a full-time job, but I'm also a full-time entrepreneur? Does she not understand as well that I'm given to the community? I'm involved in other things. And yes, I have kids. I know I don't have kids. I've got a lot going on, Shay. So she just described me. Matter of fact, I feel pretty good right now. But my question is, since I'm busy, she understands me. What's her view in the world? What are some ways that she might recommend that you can prioritize? Because I've been struggling with this for years and years and years. And if I described you, then you lean in. If I didn't, then hold on. Don't worry. She's going to talk about how you can reclaim your health. It's not too late.
So I will say planning. Developing a plan and executing that plan, sticking with the plan. If you do anything for 30 to 60 days, it's going to become a habit. So just making sure that you come up with a sound plan and baby steps. Don't go thinking, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to join the gym and I'm going to go for 45 minutes a day. Simple things. It can start with, and it's all about lifestyle changes. Maybe planning to eat, incorporating 2 fruits and vegetables into your diet a day, and going for a 30 minutes walk. And just doing that multiple times a week. So anything you do for about 30 to 60 days is going to become a habit, but you must start with a plan, a sound plan. And it requires you to repeat that every day and stick with it. So that's a start.
So they can start small. They can
Correct.
take the baby step first. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
Now, for those folks that are meeting you for the very, very first time, I know the world knows you. Some folks they've read below, by the way, and others they're like, "Shay, I'm kind of busy. I'm tuning in. I'm at the gym. Yes, I'm here, or I'm listening right now. Can you slow down for a moment? Let her
Mhm.
tell us who is this person we're talking to. Can she share her backstory, and then maybe give us that pivotal moment, that defining moment that led her to say, you know what, I'm going to specialize not only in helping with health and wellness, but helping folks reclaim their life. And even if they've been obese, they can get back on track. So I guess the question is, you probably figured it right now, is what's the backstory? Who are you? Who's that person on the other
Yeah.
side with New York, New York behind them, by the way?
So yes, I've been in healthcare for about 25 years. Um, I come from a Caribbean background from South America originally. So, my parents raised us on healthy eating and exercise on a daily basis. So, we didn't have any formal exercise, but we knew that you had to get out and get moving. Additionally, my parents grew the vegetables that we ate. So, it was always about those healthy choices. So being in healthcare, you see that most people suffer with chronic illnesses, and most of it is because of obesity. Now, some things are genetic, and some things you might have inherited or contracted or whatever it may be. However, obesity is at the core of many chronic illnesses. Hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, chronic aches and pains, low libido, and then it affects your mental health also. Physically, socially, mentally, and emotionally, it affects your whole body when you're obese. So, focusing on prevention is better than finding a cure. There's so much money that you will have to pay for chronic illnesses in terms of the chronic medications that you may have to purchase, even though you might say, oh, my health insurance is going to cover this. In the long run, you're going to end up paying more money. So I've been in primary care, and most of the time, primary care is focused on treating what you already have, not really preventing it. You go to your primary care provider once a year. By the time you come back 364 days later or 365 days, you've probably got diabetes and hypertension now to a point where, okay, we need to treat this because it's bad. So, during the pandemic, a lot of people suffered because of obesity, a lot of complications that were connected with obesity. So prior to the pandemic, I was in the realm of treating chronic conditions. I owned an urgent care in Prince George's County. We stayed full with people just chronic illness, some of the things that really could be prevented. And as a result of the pandemic, I signed more death certificates during the pandemic than I ever did in years prior. And most of these could have been prevented. So, during the pandemic, I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I want to switch my focus. And my focus was switching it to weight loss. I'm still treating those chronic conditions. I'm still treating diabetes and hypertension and high cholesterol, but it's through weight loss. So that's my focus. And people are much, much happier when they feel better, they look better, they have a better outlook on life. So this makes me more, feels like I'm accomplishing more in my career.
Certainly, much needed. I love your whole philosophy that prevention is certainly better than a cure. By the way, let's talk to
Yes.
two groups if we can for a moment. Let's first talk to my group. We're part of the Puff. I'm part of the Puff Daddy generation. I've got my AARP card these days, so we got remix versions on everything. So for the woman or male, I'm 55. Okay, that's over
Mhm.
50. Let's just talk this. I know there's only a handful of y'all out there. I get it. But for those that are out there listening right now, you're just thinking, Shay, she can't diagnose me looking through the power of these fiber optic lines. You can't do that yet. Although I was in Whole Foods the other day, you now can use your palm. Did you know that to actually check out, which is super cool. So maybe the day will come. But
Absolutely.
my
Absolutely.
that's kind of cool. I like that. So I guess the
Mhm.
question
And
is,
and most chronic illness, after I get to a certain point, you can see it in people's skin, their eyes, you can see certain diseases.
don't be diagnosing me, doc. I have
I
contacts
might
on. Okay,
just.
don't. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay. It's very serious. I mean, we're laughing and we're joking and we're playing as much as we can. At least I am on this conversation. I know but it's a very serious conversation. If someone was asking me the question,
Absolutely.
which they did recently on the podcast, Shay, what's most important to you? I would say health, happiness, and then my wealth, right? And so health will be right up top.
Right.
And so it's a very, very important conversation. My conversation to it would be, what would you suggest to the person, like you said, that has to take the first baby step? You gave some ideas. Or is there certain vegetables, certain fruit? Does it have to be organic food these days? Or I have to only drink Fiji water these days? I mean, I'm just being funny here. But I want to give a little guidance to the folks that's over 50 and let you know that it's not too late. I know some of you, and I'm not saying anyone on here personally, but you hear it or you read it like, oh, and my boys say this, okay, Shay, back in my day, that was it, but I've had my day. And I believe for all of us, and if you're watching, I'm on a rant, I'm going to shut up. I believe your best is still yet to come. There are better days ahead. And that's why Dr. Owens is on here now to give you some suggestions so you can get back on track. It's never too late. Yes. So what would you say to the person's over 50 right now?
So I would say focus on an anti-inflammatory diet. Inflammatory foods is what contribute to most chronic illnesses. It contributes to cancers, it contributes to diabetes, and anti-inflammatory foods are your fruits, your vegetables, your protein, limiting your protein intake, of course, because too much protein is going to turn into fat anyway. So the inflammatory foods are more of your processed foods. So if you're shopping in a grocery store, the inside of the grocery store, the middle aisles, that's where your inflammatory foods are. The foods in the boxes and the processed foods and the canned foods. So you want to shop more of fresh fruits and vegetables, making sure you have a nice portion on a daily basis. People should have about 2 to 3 servings of vegetables a day. Most people don't even eat vegetables in a day. So that will be my recommendation. Carbs and fats is what contribute to you being overweight. So fat doesn't necessarily make people fat. It's the carbohydrates and the processed foods that contributes to those inflammatory disorders. So if you eat something and you feel sleepy after, that is not the food talking to you. That is your insulin receptors being way up and your body working overtime to actually burn that food that you ate. Right? After eating any meal, you should feel energized. You should feel alert. You should not feel sleepy and sluggish. So if you feel sleepy and sluggish after eating a meal, that is the wrong type of meal that you're eating.
So we can't pat our stomachs. Someone say, "Oh, that was so good. I'm ready to go to sleep. That was so delicious. I'm about to go to sleep up in here."
Bad for you.
that means it wasn't really a good meal. It might have tasted like a good meal, but it wasn't a good meal. Is that what I'm hearing?
That is what you're hearing. Yes. You should not be feeling sleepy. That is your body working overtime. So, and that's why sleep, that brings us to another topic. Sleep is important for you. You can go without food, but you cannot go without water and sleep. Those are the two things that if you don't have it, because the reason that we sleep is so that your body can regenerate cells for you to be optimal the next day. So it's super important. So if your body is feeling sleepy after a meal, that is your body saying to you, hey, we're working overtime to digest that meal that you just put into us. So yeah, you need to take a nap. That's bad.
So for my folks that joke about my midday naps, I've now been given permission by the doc to take a nap. It's a power nap. Okay, it's a power nap. Mm-hmm. And I didn't eat anything before the power nap. Okay, I'm feeling a little better now, doc. I used to think I had to take a nap because something was wrong with me. Now, take a power nap. Let the body rejuvenate and get going again. I love it. Mm-hmm. Now, you gave it to we need to do the over 50, right? But I have sons. They're 30 and 32. The different generation, obviously. And I have a grandson now. He just turned 1 year old, but he's not listening right now. But what would you say to the person that's under 50? Is it something different they should be more focused on? Is that? And I know this is a broad swiping question. I get it, but I'm just asking in general. Under 50, is their diet plan a little bit different?
Nope, it's the same. So if you started it in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, it wouldn't be such a hard job by the time you get to 50s and 60s. Because by the time you get to 50s and 60s, then for women, you have menopause. For the men, you have something else that's happening and your body is slowing down. So, really and truly, the earlier the better. And the less your problems will be, or the easier it will be for you to handle it in your 50s and 60s. So, starting early, it's highly recommended.
I love it. This is spot on. We have a segment here, Doc, called "Today is my January 1st," and the
Mhm.
segment for those folks that tune in every night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know you wait for this moment. You can go and say those magic words. Today is my January 1st. I know it feels good. It's like a fresh start. For those folks that are tuning in for the very first time, this is your very first show. We want to welcome you to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We're so glad you're here. Hit the share button. Make sure you subscribe and stay connected. But today, as our January 1st represents a personal motto. It's a fresh start. It's a do over. It means our past. And isn't it so good the doc is here today? Our past, no matter what the past is, it no longer equals the future. So my question to the doc, is she listening on the other side, Dr. Owens? When you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And then we always like to ask, what was a moment that you had that was a setback for you that you had to bounce back in your life? And if your life was perfect, you don't have to mention anything. But was there ever a time when things didn't go right and you had to get yourself back on track and have a January 1st?
So, probably in a business venture, but not
Sure.
in, it was an experience. So, for me, it's about having a positive mindset and being grateful for closed doors, bad vibes, and stuff that didn't work out the way it's supposed to. Um, so there was a situation where I had closed the urgent care and I had relocated. The urgent care was in Prince George's County. I live in Baltimore County. So I was close to DC at one point in time. And I live in Baltimore County. So I had moved my now clinic closer to where I am. And I rented a space. It was in a shopping center, and it just seemed as though everything was falling apart. The landlord gave some misleading information. He wasn't truthful about the unit. It was smaller than it actually was. He gave incorrect dimensions. We had a hot water issue that we didn't have hot water. It seems as though everything was going wrong. Additionally, he made some promises that he did not necessarily fulfill. And even though he was verbal about it, he did not put it in a lease. I just took him on his word. Well, needless to say, that word couldn't stand up in court because he denied it. Needless to say, I moved my business to Baltimore County, moved into that location, and had to move out. So the lessons that I learned, it wasn't a loss, it was actually lessons learned. Making sure that when you get into a contract, that everything that was said is in writing, making sure that everything is in writing, one. Two, be grateful for things that fall apart because it actually ends up being a blessing. You know, at the time, I'm ready to get this thing started. Like, let's go. So, I've got this vision in my mind. I've always been a person that was goal driven. This has to happen like right here, right now. And there was a year delayed because I moved in, I had to move out. The place could not accommodate me for the practice that I was trying to do. I was going to have to minimize actually my services that I'm doing. We have an infrared sauna. I wasn't going to be able to have the infrared sauna here because the power supply was not going to be able to support it. We have red light therapy bed, which is commercial grade. And everything about that place that I wanted to go was opposite of what it can substantiate for me. So, I was pressed about being in that location and it didn't work out. So I ended up having to take that landlord to court to get out of that lease, of which I won. And I moved into a newer space, which was much more accommodating. And that landlord actually built out that location, that commercial location, to all of my specifications. So it was taking those lessons, taking those losses as lessons, and it was actually a blessing in disguise. So that was a lesson learned for me.
Thanks for being so
It was a
authentic. Thanks for
setback,
sharing.
but it was a beautiful comeback.
You're a comeback champion, and that's what it's all about. And shout out to Baltimore.
Yes,
They're happy to have you there now, and I'm sure I love Baltimore. I went to Morgan State
absolutely.
University in Baltimore and Johns Hopkins for graduate school, so I love Baltimore. Although I'm a DC
Yes.
native. All right, not DMV, DC. Let's be clear. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Although
Just
we
being
don't have any
clear.
representation, and we pay more taxes than everybody else. Topic for another time. Okay, taxation without representation. Okay, let me get off my soapbox.
Understood.
We have a segment that I love here, Dr. Owens, that I'm able to ask one of my favorite questions, which is, what's one of the best pieces of advice you ever been given, right? And I normally like to frame the conversation around, you've had a lot of mentors along this journey of life. We all have. I believe success is a team sport. You only get so far by yourself. So of all the mentors that you've had, whether you did it online or met them in person, or what's one of the best pieces of advice that you've ever been given that you want to share with us, the audience? And you at home, this is how you get to lean in. Like, you get to lean in because you get to take something that's near and dear to Dr. Owens' heart, and you can take just that one idea and you can apply that idea for the rest of your life. So there's a lifetime benefit you being here right now. So Dr. Owens, what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given, and why is it so important to you?
Having a positive mindset, being optimistic, having that mindset that I'm supposed to win. When you think when you focus on a certain thing, it becomes bigger. So if you focus on bad things, oh, something bad is going to happen. Guess what? What you think about, that's what's going to happen. But if you have that positive mindset and say, I'm supposed to win, good things are supposed to happen for me, and this is the game plan, and this is what I'm looking towards. And sometimes you really have to talk to yourself to get those bad thoughts out of your head, and changing your focus, shifting your focus. And when you have that positive mindset, positive things are going to come for you. So that's one of the things that I constantly work on a daily basis. I have affirmations that I review on a daily basis. Good things is supposed to happen for me. I'm supposed to win. I'm looking forward to winning. And my thought process is what comes about for me. So
I love those affirmations. Like, you actually shared the affirmations with you. I was like, I hope she tells us the affirmation. She's not going to leave us on the edges. She's like, we're all leaning in right now. Like, no, here are a few of my affirmations, by the way, that are very, very important. So what I'm hearing at the end of the day is that everyone out there needs to connect, obviously, with you. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But first, what do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world, making a difference for everybody else these days?
So I love to travel. I love to socialize. I know a lot of people see me out. I love to have a good time. I'm always of the mindset that Facebook needs to take away that like button. I despise that like button because people have gotten away from even socially connected, not saying anything, not typing sentences. And I'm very intentional. If I see a post, I'm going to comment on it. I'm going to comment my thoughts and not just give it that like button. I like bike riding. I like traveling. I like shopping. I like nice things. But most importantly, I'm known for being socially connected and getting around, meeting people, and just being outdoors. There's a research study that was done by Harvard, I want to say, and the study was over 100 years. And one of the points that the research study made is that people that stayed socially connected actually live longer lives. And I'm looking
We're
forward
not
to
going to be
living a
connected with you on
very
the bike
long
trail. Well,
life.
some of you are going to be meeting her on the bike trail, by the way. So you can do that. So you can say
Oh yeah,
socially
I'm on the
connected
bike
to her.
trails. Yes. If you
I'm
if you want to
joking.
go 40, 50, 60, or 100 miles, I'm for it. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. I love
Yeah.
it. 40 miles not that bad. You get the 50, 60, and 100. I mean, come on. And then that
You
means you're
take
ultra. That
breaks.
means you know what you're doing. That means you
Oh
got a really
yeah.
nice bike and you got the gear.
I absolutely do. I've invested in my bike, and you just can't just get up and just go riding. You have to be prepared again, physically, mentally, emotionally. You have to have that nutrition to go with it. So yeah, I mean, for me, I can get up and just go riding because I stay prepared, so I don't have to get prepared. But yes, yeah, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. So
A,
on any
a
given
doctor with
day,
humor.
my
And this
bag
kind
is
of cool.
packed.
We got a doctor with humor on here. It's kind of interesting. Then we have some boring person, but this is kind of cool. I don't think I've had an interview like this before. A cool
So yeah,
doctor,
so you called me up and was like, "You want to go riding today? I'm ready. Let's go."
I don't ride. Okay, I'm a runner. I run 5 marathons. I'm a runner type of guy. That
Yes.
biking thing has me a little afraid of falling and so forth, which is why I haven't done a triathlon. Um,
Well,
but I
trails.
admire you. You can get on that bike and you
Yes.
can
Thank
go
you.
and you got the right
Yes.
gear. Great exercise.
Yes,
Great exercise.
absolutely.
Now I'm curious. This is a loaded question again, but I know we got to
Mhm.
come down the home stretch. Vitamins, not vitamins. You for vitamins? Like my doctor, he hates vitamins. He just I'm wasting my money, but I buy any and everything. Camel, vitamin C, vitamin D. You can sell me any pill because I'm like
Oh,
I don't know what's going to work and not work.
absolutely.
But
Absolutely. And that's one of
what
the
is your
things that
view on
we
the
do.
world for folks that are listening, saying, "Yeah, I'm taking all these vitamins, Shay,
Absolutely.
because I'm just curious what your view is. I mean, I know it's not a medical thing, but what's your view?"
So I absolutely support vitamins, right? Because, for instance, people that normally will catch colds and, oh, I have a cold every other month or day or whatever it is, it's because your immune system is not where it needs to be. So, excuse me, taking those vitamins to help boost your immune system is extremely important. And I 100% support vitamins. As a matter of fact, offer vitamins on a daily basis. So B12 vitamins, which boost your metabolism. It helps with weight loss, mental clarity. Vitamin D, which is super important for your mood. People that suffer with seasonal affective disorder, especially this time of the year, anxiety, depression. Many people are running around with super low vitamin D levels and not knowing that vitamin D is super important. So, yes, I support
Mm.
wholeheartedly making sure that you take vitamins on a daily basis. Now, you have to take quality vitamins, of course, and you just can't buy any and everything that you see. For one, pills, your body probably will only absorb about 60 to 70%, depending on how good it is. Did you take it on an empty stomach? Did you take it with a meal? Um, is it really for you? Liquid, you will absorb a little bit more of liquid, probably about 80%. But what we do at the office, we offer vitamin shots, which is an injection. And that lasts about a week. So it's more bioavailability. We offer multivitamins. Now, everybody can't afford this on a long term basis, but having those vitamins, especially during cold and flu season, absolutely important to do.
Wow. I feel encouraged. I feel inspired already, by the
Yes.
way. I was wondering, should I take this, probiotics, this, that? And I've been taking it
Yeah,
anyway. So I'm always
absolutely.
curious on perspective.
Yeah.
Um,
And
because to me, that
again,
says a lot.
making sure, yeah, and making sure what you're doing because vitamins, you have fat soluble vitamins and then you have water soluble vitamins. So if you're taking water soluble vitamins, you have to replace them every day, every single day, about the same time, because the more water you drink, the faster they're out of your body. So people will be like, oh, I don't take vitamins because I don't feel any way different. Well, if you only took them for 2 days and you stopped, of course you don't. And then you have the fat soluble vitamins, which are vitamin A, D, E, and K. They last a little bit longer. So that's the difference. So I wholeheartedly support vitamins, taking vitamins, because many of the foods that we eat are not fortified with it. They're processed, they're not fortified. How many people are getting 6 and 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day? None. So I wholeheartedly support it.
I love it. I love it. That says a lot. First, let me say two things. Thanks for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I don't know if of a better conversation. Normally, I always say we have to talk about sales because that's what we do. But there's a
Mhm.
conversation that's higher than sales, right? And the conversation that has another priority level, and that is your health. Because without your health, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter what's there if you really can't
Mhm.
enjoy it. And I mean that. And I know this is gonna sound like a broken record. I get it, but this is probably one of the most important podcasts or conversations you could be in right now with Dr. Owens on the other side who's giving you what you need. So, Dr. Owens, please take a moment and tell them what type of clients are you looking to work with these days, and how can they connect with you? How can they learn more about you, your services, and what you offer? Is there a website, a place they can go to? Some folks are seeing things below, but other folks, it's just in their ear, so they want to hear. Are they watching right now? So please share.
Yeah. Anyone, anyone. I'm licensed to see from birth to the elderly. So, but most of the times at this level, it's men and women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and up. My oldest patient right now is 82 at a weight loss center, and my youngest is 16. We do a number of things. We do, like I mentioned, vitamin shots. We have an infrared sauna. So we do also serve a large population of athletes. So we have a red light therapy bed that focuses on, it can do weight loss, it can do pain and pain reduction and recovery. So any athletes that's looking to boost their performance and or recovery, we can also do that. So anyone looking to improve their health and wellness, I have something for you. So it's not a particular person or a particular gender. It's anyone looking to improve their health and wellness. I have something for you. So we're located in Reisterstown, Maryland. It's in Baltimore County at 42A Main Street. We're in a shopping center with the Wise grocery store next door to the pharmacy. Many people go to a pharmacy and pick up their prescriptions. We're opposite the Dunkin' Donuts. Don't go to Dunkin' Donuts, come to us. So 42 Main Street, Reisterstown, Maryland. The zip code is 21136. You can give us a call at 410-702-7354. We're also accessible online at B for body, B for basics, W for wellness, C for center.com. We're always willing to answer the phone, answer any calls that you have. You can also text that phone number if you just think of a question in the middle of the night and wanted to schedule a consultation. You can always text us. We will call you back the very next business day. So we're always available, always accessible. Looking forward to serving you.
Don't go to that Dunkin' Donuts. Act like you don't see it. I promise you, she's probably not going to endorse that. I was going to ask, can you have one donut? But I'm sensing that I shouldn't do that, so I'm not going to ask that.
I can see out the window.
Yeah, don't go. Question number 1 on the form: did you have a Dunkin' Donuts? Dunkin' Donut. Now, seriously.
I have some patients that come, they're on the weight loss journey, and then I see them going to Dunkin' Donuts. I come right outside, like, what are you doing? And they're like, we're treating. It's a treat. I promise.
A cheat day. It's a cheat day, a cheat meal.
Go in the opposite direction. Don't do it.
The doc is coming out the door with her white robe and everything. Hey, you, wrong door.
I've done it plenty of times.
And
they
it's
love
serious.
the accountability, and I'm here for it. Yeah,
it's really serious. So let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, Doc.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you.
Bye
thank
now.
you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this. Without you, there is no show. So we want to encourage you to tune in every night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love to remind you and myself that you are so freaking awesome, that you're so amazing, that no matter what's going on, no matter decisions went your way or didn't go your way, you have an opportunity to get back on track, because today is your January 1st. And if you woke up, you're already a comeback champion. And I believe for you, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I'll make some good things happen. Peace. So long, Dr. Owens. We out. Bye-bye.
Take care.